Have you ever stood in front of a mirror, stared at your own reflection, and whispered, "Can I really do this?" That single question can be the beginning of everything. Because in that quiet moment of doubt, a spark can be born. The spark that says, "I can win." It's not arrogance. It's not blind faith. It's a whisper of potential waiting to become a roar. As Eleanor Roosevelt once said, "The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams." When you start believing that you can win, something begins to shift inside. The world can still throw storms your way, failures, rejections, pain, but your response can define your direction. Victory doesn't always come from strength. It often comes from belief. When you tell yourself, "I can," your mind starts to find the path, even when your feet stumble. Henry Ford said, "Whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right." We often think winning means reaching the top. But winning can be simply refusing to give up. It can be waking up one more time after falling, showing up when no one believes you will, or smiling through pain that could have broken you. Winston Churchill said, "Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts." Courage can be contagious. It can spread through your heart until it becomes your rhythm. Sometimes it's not the world you're fighting. It's yourself. Your doubts, fears, memories, and regrets can feel like chains. But remember this: you were not born with limits. They were taught. Yet even then, you can choose to unlearn them. Dr. Wayne Dyer said, "The only limits that exist are the ones you place on yourself." And when you realize that, you begin to breathe differently, with purpose, with belief, with quiet confidence. So today, start small. Say it out loud. I can win. Let those 3 words echo through your mind until they feel natural. Every time you repeat it, you plant another seed of belief. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "Faith is taking the first step even when you don't see the whole staircase." And that first step, that first "I can be where your transformation begins. And that first step, that first "I can be where your transformation begins. There's a moment in every journey when belief must evolve into decision. Saying "I can win" awakens hope, but saying "I will win" ignites fire. Hope can move your heart, but willpower can move mountains. The moment you decide, truly decide, something shifts from possibility to purpose. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "Once you make a decision, the universe conspires to make it happen." The universe doesn't move for those who hesitate. It moves for those who declare. When you say, "I will win," you are not making a promise to the world. You are making a covenant with yourself. That phrase isn't just words. It's a vow of persistence. Life can be unpredictable, unfair, and sometimes cruel. But your will can be stronger than your circumstances. An old proverb reminds us, "Where there is a will, there is a way." And willpower can transform obstacles into stepping stones.
Think about every great story you've ever heard. Athletes rising from defeat, dreamers who built empires from nothing, people who found light in darkness. None of them knew if they would succeed, but all of them decided they would try until they did. Muhammad Ali once said, "I hated every minute of training, but I said, don't quit, suffer now, and live the rest of your life as a champion." That's what "I will win" truly means. Enduring the moments that test you because you know something within you can endure.
Willpower doesn't mean you won't fall. It means you'll rise differently each time. When the world says no, your will says not yet. When fatigue whispers, give up, your will replies, just one more step. The strength of will doesn't always roar. Sometimes it's a quiet, steady heartbeat that says, I'm not done. Nelson Mandela said, it always seems impossible until it's done, reminding us that impossibility is often just a label we outgrow. Willpower doesn't come fully formed. It can be built, trained, sharpened. Every challenge is an invitation to grow stronger. Every setback is a test of endurance. And every victory, no matter how small, is proof that your decision was worth it. Arnold Schwarzenegger said, strength does not come from winning. Your struggles develop your strengths. So even when life feels heavy, when the finish line seems distant, your will can carry you further than you imagine.
So say it now, with conviction, with intent. I will win. Not because it's guaranteed, but because you are willing to fight for it. You can bend, you can break, but you will rise. Let this be your declaration to the world and to yourself. You are the one who refuses to surrender.
There comes a point when can and will are no longer enough. There's a moment when the dream stops being optional, when it becomes oxygen. That's when I must win is born. This isn't about pride or proving people wrong. It's about survival of the soul. It's about knowing deep within that you cannot afford to live below your potential. Eric Thomas said, when you want something as badly as you want to breathe, then you will be successful. That hunger cannot be silenced.
When winning becomes a must, you stop waiting for perfect moments. You create them. You stop blaming circumstances, luck, or timing. The fight is yours alone, and that's liberating. Confucius once said, the man who moves a mountain begins by carrying away small stones. The mountain may still stand tall, but the one who must win will never stop chipping away. Every stone lifted is a promise kept.
Must is powerful because it leaves no room for escape. It can transform uncertainty into focus. It can turn pain into fuel. It can make fear irrelevant. When you operate from must, excuses disappear. You stop asking, can I? And start saying, I have to. Yoda said, do or do not. There is no try. Commitment becomes the bridge between vision and victory.
Think about the people who've changed the world. They weren't necessarily the strongest or the smartest, but they were relentless. They burned with purpose. They were people who said, I must, even when no one else believed they could. Zig Ziglar reminds us, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. The must to begin is the birthplace of all greatness. When must enters your mindset, fear can still visit, but it no longer stays. Doubt can still whisper, but it no longer leads. You move differently, think differently, breathe differently. You chase growth instead of comfort, purpose instead of validation. Robert Horry said, "Pressure can burst a pipe, or it can make a diamond." And when you live with "I must win," pressure becomes polish. You don't crumble, you shine.
So let this be your creed. I must win, not because the world demands it, but because your purpose deserves it. You can rest, but not quit. You can fail, but not surrender. You must win because you owe it to the person you were, the person you are, and the one you're becoming.
Imagine standing at the edge of your dreams, the horizon stretching infinitely before you. Your heart pounds, your mind races, but inside, a quiet voice whispers, "I can win." That whisper has carried you through doubts, fears, and nights of uncertainty. It has been your spark, your promise to yourself. Theodore Roosevelt once said, "Believe you can, and you're halfway there." Believing you can is the first step, the ignition of a journey that will test every part of you.
But belief alone cannot carry you across the finish line. That's where I will steps in. Will is the engine, the relentless motion that turns possibility into action. It is the steady rhythm of your footsteps when the path seems endless. Confucius said, "It does not matter how slowly you go, as long as you do not stop." Each effort, each choice, each refusal to surrender is the manifestation of your will. You can stumble, you can fall, but your determination keeps you moving, forging progress where doubt once lived.
Then comes the ultimate force. I must win. This is no longer hope, no longer wishful thinking. It is the fire that burns so fiercely within that it cannot be ignored. Obstacles may rise and voices may mock, yet your spirit refuses compromise. Friedrich Nietzsche said, "When you have a why, you can bear almost any how." Your purpose transforms struggle into strength, pain into power, and setbacks into stepping stones. When you operate from must, victory is not a dream. It becomes a responsibility, a destiny you refuse to deny.
Remember, the path to winning is not linear. You can face failure, fear, and frustration. Yet every trial can be an opportunity. Every tear shed can water the seeds of your growth. Henry Ford said, "Obstacles are those frightful things you see when you take your eyes off your goal." Keep your eyes on the horizon, and every hardship becomes a teacher. Every doubt, a shadow you leave behind.
So rise. Rise with the knowledge that you can win. Rise with the promise that you will win. And rise with the fire that you must win. This is your story, your battle, your triumph waiting to be claimed. Billie Jean King said, "Champions keep playing until they get it right." You are that champion. You are the one who refuses to quit, the one who dares, the one who conquers.
Take a breath, look ahead, and step forward. The journey is yours. The victories, the struggles, and the glory are yours to shape. Say it again. Let it echo inside your soul. I can win. I will win. I must win. Let those words guide you, empower you, and ignite every fiber of your being. Your moment is now. Your path is yours. Your victory can be inevitable because you have chosen to fight, to rise, and to become unstoppable.